Now I will start ask you questions. What's your name?
My name is Wei Qiyuan. I also have an English name, Mark. I started using this since I came to Australia.
Where's your hometown located?
My hometown is a city called Hangzhou. It's located about south of Shanghai, about 2 hours drive. It's in the center of the Changjiang River Triangle. It's a city of beautiful scenery and mainly for tourist industry.
Could you tell me something about your family?
Yeah, sure. I have parents. I don't have any direct brothers or sisters, but I do have siblings. They come from my uncles or aunts.
How long have you lived in Sydney?
I've been in this city since the first day I came to Australia. I've been living in Sydney for more than 2.5 years by now. Most of the time I was studying.
What's your major?
I had several degrees while during the time I'm in Sydney. The first master degree is for Master of Commerce. Then I just finished one Master of Accounting.
Do you prefer one particular friend or group of friends?
Well, I would prefer to have as many friends as I can. So I think the best thing is to have more friends, and you can solve the more problems you have.
What do you like doing most with your friends?
I like to play sports with my friends mostly because you can exercise while socialize at the same time.
Do you think it is important to keep in contact with friends you knew as a child?
I do, because friends you grow up with, you get very familiar with them, and usually there's a very close bond or very close relationship among you. And I particularly find that the people will rely on or trust the most for those they grew up with.
What makes a friend into a good friend?
There's no specific judgment, but I would say a good friend is a friend you can trust, that you know well, and you probably share mutual interest, and also have eye-to-eye on certain political ideas as well.
You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish.
The topic that I received today is to talk about the important life choice. I wanted to talk about the choice that I was making when I was about to finish my first master's degree in Australia. It was last year, at the beginning of the year. I was graduating that year in June. So I'm facing the choice of whether to keep staying in Australia, find a way, or to go back to China to find a job right away after graduation. I have to choose between whether to stay or to go back, because I was studying a degree that's not sufficient enough for me to stay here or to migrate here in Australia. So actually it's a choice between to go to further study, to planning staying in Australia for several years ahead, or to go back to China, which is my hometown, straight ahead. Yeah. So far, I think I've made the right choice, because what attracts me to make the choice in the first place, like the people here, the food, the environment, it's very clean and beautiful, the air, and so many parks. And I would like to doing sports and wandering around the parks. That's the beautiful thing about Australia. Also, the people here are very friendly. I've made a lot of great friends from most Australians, but also from other countries here so far. And also, I like the healthy and fresh food, especially seafood here in Australia. So I like these things, and these things has always enthusiastic me to keep staying here in Australia, to pursue my dream here in a completely new area that's very far from my homeland. I would say that the most thing that impresses me here in Australia most is the teacher I've met, the friends, and also the colleagues. That I'll meet some great working places, and I enjoyed my working experience, whether part-time or full-time so far. And I'm really confident and very anticipated to pursue my career goals in the near future. And I feel quite deeply touched by this land. But I'm not saying this is a perfect choice, of course. To make a choice, that means you have to give and you have to take. So I sometimes miss my family dearly. That's the downside, that if I choose to stay here. And I probably even consider it to become a citizen here, which is given my nationality of being a Chinese at some point. So that's never an easy choice. That's a tough choice, both for me and for my family. So especially when some of my family members have met difficulties and I cannot be there with them, I cannot accompany them. So those times I sometimes have thoughts about the choice. But to think it over and to carefully consider it, I really love this country and I think I've made the right choice. This is the important choice that I made so far and I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much.
What are the typical choices people make at different stages of their lives?
Well, every people needs to eat, so definitely they have the choice of food. They need to live, they have the choice of their living places. And also they have the most important choice of choose where to study, what kind of job they are going to get, and also what kind of people they are going to be with. That is the choice of their life partners.
Should important choices be made by parents rather than by young adults?
Well, I wouldn't have suggested that. The important choices should be made by people themselves. Whenever they are able to make choices, they're old enough or mature enough. Well, at the same time, they should still listen to their parents, because usually they have more life experiences or working experiences, so they may provide valuable insight on certain major choice that young people facing.
Why do some people like to discuss choices with other people?
Because sometimes we are not sure, sometimes we hesitate, we are afraid of making the wrong decisions. So I think that's the reason why people are turning to help when they need to make some important decisions.
What kind of choices do people have to make in their everyday life?
I suppose people will have to choose what food they are having and what they are going to do during the day, and also what kind of public transport they are going to take to get to the workplace.
Why do some people choose to do the same things every day? Are there any disadvantages in this?
Well, I wouldn't say people are doing exactly the same thing every day, but quite a lot are similar. They have to go through the similar processes during work. They will probably have the same food every day, but that does not necessarily a bad thing. But we do get some, we get bored from time to time by living an unchanged life and the lack of enthusiasm. I think if you want disadvantages, that will be it.
Do you think that people today have more choices to make today than in the past?
Yes, definitely. People today have more choices of their career, because there are more jobs on the career market nowadays, and they have choices of the goods they are going to buy, for example, like cars, properties, and also they have the choices of even what they are wearing, and many areas.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.